Thank you. Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being with us on this last and third day of the Munich Security Conference for a panel discussion, Europeans Assemble and How to Navigate and Claim Agency in a Rough World. But before we start, I would like to give the floor to the High Representative Kaja Kallas for a scene setter. Thank you very much.
Excellencies, dear friends, I want to start with some appreciation for the marvel inspired of this panel, Europeans Assemble. And we're getting there, dusting off our capes, pulling up our boots, revving up our engines. Europeans also know what this fight is for. Not only our excellent living standards, health and happiness, but lessons we have learned from our own history. Contrary to what some may say, woke, decadent Europe is not facing civilizational erasure. In fact, people still want to join our club, and not just fellow Europeans. When I was in Canada last year, I was told that over 40% of Canadians have an interest in joining the European Union. So the waiting list is quite long. I just hope that those who have been waiting for quite some time would not have to wait for longer. As the polls show, those who are already members want their union to take a stronger role in the world, to defend our values, to take care of our people, and to push humanity forwards. As President Macron said in Davos, Europe is sometimes too slow, for sure, and needs to be reformed, for sure. But we absolutely know what we are and what we stand for. I agree that there is an urgent need to reclaim European agency. 3 priorities. First, Europe's defense. This starts in Ukraine, but we know that Russia's endgame is not Donbas. Beyond Ukraine, Russia already seeks to cripple economies through cyber attacks, disrupt satellites, sabotage undersea cables, fracture alliances with disinformation, coerce countries by weaponizing oil and gas. And of course, there is also the nuclear threat. To respond to these challenges in a coherent and systematic way, I'm working closely with Ursula von der Leyen on a new European security strategy. This strategy will address all dimensions of European security, from hard security and defense to economic security and preparedness. Because in today's world, security is indivisible. But let's be clear-eyed about Russia. Russia is no superpower. After more than a decade of a conflict, including 4 years of full-scale war in Ukraine, Russia has barely advanced beyond the 2014 lines. And the cost? 1.2 million casualties. Today, Russia is broken. Its economy is in shreds, it is disconnected from the European energy markets, and its own citizens are fleeing. In fact, the greatest threat Russia presents right now is that it gains more at the negotiation table than it has achieved on the battlefield. And on the topic of negotiations, what matters more than having a seat at the table is knowing what to ask when you are sitting there. How I see it is very simple. Russia's maximalist demands cannot be met with minimalist response. Think about it. If Ukraine's military is to be limited in size, Russia should be too. Where Russia has caused damage in Ukraine, Russia should pay. No amnesty for war crimes, return of the Ukrainian deported children. This is really the very least Russia should agree if peace is Russia's goal. But as we suspect it is not Russia's goal, Europe is rearming and doing so together with our friends. The second priority is stability in the European neighborhood, East and South. This is where Europe has most agency. Our priority here is enlargement, the antidote to Russian imperialism. Since 1990, states that freed themselves from the Soviet domination and joined the European Union have grown more than twice as fast as Russia. In 1990, Russians were twice as rich as Poles. Today, Poles are roughly 70% richer than Russians. I also agree with the historian Timothy Snyder, who writes that European enlargement is vital for securing democracy and overcoming Europe's own imperial history. Today, enlargement is a geopolitical choice, and we must say yes. Our third priority is international partnerships. Take trade, for example. The European Union has built the largest free trade network in the world. Close to 80 countries are now covered by EU trade agreements. And on top of trade, we are creating partnerships on security and defense. 10 so far, including India and Australia this year alone. Countries want to diversify their partnerships to manage the risks in the rougher world, including a constant threat of tariffs. They want to find joint solutions to digital challenges from standards to semiconductors, because vast majority of the countries also want the same thing: stability, growth, prosperity for their people. The best way to get there is to go together. To conclude, we hear the call to action, Europeans assemble, and let me take more inspiration from the Marvel universe. Heroes are made by the paths they choose, not the powers that they are graced with. Europe's path is clear: defend Europe, secure our neighborhood, and build partnerships across the globe. Thank you.